You've probably seen this knife before. Yeah, that's the Spyderco Shaman. Now, this is an exclusive one. This one comes in the green linen micarta and, yeah, CPM M4, full DLC. Pretty cool. This is a Blade HQ exclusive. I might be wrong, but they actually might still have some right now. So you might be able to still get this. First of all, I highly recommend this variation. But I'm going to be doing a review on just the model in general, how it carries, how it functions, how it cuts, ergonomics, everything like that. So let's get into it. So far, I want to go on the ergonomics. The stock ones come in G10, kind of like this, but they're all going to be contoured because if you don't notice, these are contoured scales. That's what makes the Shaman pretty set apart from the Spyderco line. You do kind of have these peel ply textured G10 scales usually, but the Shaman kind of went out of its way to make these contoured really nice, pretty grippy still, G10 or micarta, whatever variation you're able to get, aftermarket titanium, what have you. It's just the ergonomics are really, really nice, guys. They really kind of melt in your hand. You really have a lot of different options where to carry this. You can carry it like this. You can choke back a little bit back here. You kind of have a little bit of room here. And you have a forward finger control, which makes it really cool. Along with that ramp, you have a good set of jimping that comes up here. And it really locks you in, guys. Really locks you in. So yeah, let's get into carry profile real quick since we're on the blade or the handle already. We have just a standard pug clip from Spyderco. As you know, it's kind of the spoon clips. Yeah, that's kind of obnoxious, kind of weird, kind of looks like a weird spoon. Well, yeah, obviously spoon clip. It does look like a spoon. It's kind of ridiculous. I probably will get a custom clip later on. They're just, I'm kind of enjoying it already. Wearing it with gloves and stuff, it hasn't really bothered me. But yeah, if you're going to be just using a lot with your bare hands, yeah, it's going to kind of bother you. It's not too bad. Some models are worse, like on the Manix 2, like you need to change the pocket on Manix 2. You just have to. But this knife is kind of more forgiving because their ergonomics are just so good. Okay, so let's get back up to the blade. We have, usually they'll be coming in a CPM S30V blade steel, which is a great steel. Pretty good edge retention, fairly good toughness, and pretty good corrosion resistance. Just pretty well rounded. It's one of the few steels made by Crucible that was actually meant for pocket knives, for cutlery, right? So pretty cool. That's how they're gonna come stock. Yeah. So yeah, that's how the blade steels are gonna be. And this is the blade shape. If you can notice here, we kind of have a really high flat grind here, where the grind starts all the way up here, and then it kind of drops off to just a pretty sturdy flat grind, pretty simple, and kind of more of a drop point. As you see, the point drops and it's kind of makes it pretty versatile for slicing, for draw cuts, for puncture tasks even. We have a pretty good puncturing here. And I gotta say, when I'm in use, it's actually really, really good. It's a lot slicier than you think it'd be. And it really holds its value in toughness. It really shines in how tough it is. And it really does a really good blend of how slicey and tough it is. Especially mine is the CPM4. It'll be a beast, right? CPM S30V is no exception. It is actually tougher than you think it'd be. It can get a little rolly, can be kind of chippy every once in a while, but you can really trust Spyderco's heat treat. If you don't know, their heat treating is really, really good. They do a really good job, and they really try to make sure that you're able to sharpen your knife well, reprofile your knife well, and that the life of the knife is there with a good heat treat process, right? So you can trust that Spyderco will do a good job on your blades and that they'll perform the way they're supposed to be in the steel compositions, stuff like that, right? Okay, so what else? What else we got here? We have the Spyderco hole, as you usually see, and it's just going to be a really good method of deployment. I think this is one of the larger holes. Kind of like the Manix 2 XL, you're kind of going to get a bigger hole for, flipping, opening, what have you. It will perform well in your thumb flicking, in your thumb rolling, and it's going to be really good for your, Spidey flicking, right? Pretty cool. Action's really good. It is running on phosphor bronze washers. Wow. And it's going to be really, really tough for getting gunk out, keeping gunk away, and it's going to be pretty tough in the long run, right? It's gonna be pretty good, pretty easy to clean, pretty easy to lube up, oil, stuff like that. So I'm gonna talk about a little about the performance. I was using this for my job for a little while, and I gotta say, this thing really shined. I mean, I was cutting through material, and actually sometimes I would actually dig into pallets. But because of the strength of this flat grind, even though it's a high flat grind, it would be able to stand up and not roll. And I have no rolls or chips in this blade. It might vary if you have a variation of 20 CV or something like that, where the blade steel is known to be a little more chippy. I don't think your problem will be too bad with an S30V blade. It's not going to be as tough as CPM 4, but it's going to be pretty adequate in the way the blade shape and its design. It's going to be definitely meant to be a harder use knife, and that's kind of what Spyderco wanted to portray in this design. So pretty cool that they have a more hard use, kind of more overbuilt Spyderco. For kind of like the everyman, kind of like anybody who's willing to have a harder EDC knife, one that's a little more hand filling, one that could be a little more versatile. You could do a little more, be a little more rough with it. Camping chores, you have a construction site, food prep. Even look at that. I mean, you have enough belly there to really do good on your kitchen table. Cutting board, stuff like that. Because also, if you look, I actually have the edge actually comes more forward than the handle, meaning that you'll be able to cut your vegetables, cut your meats, cut your stuff like that pretty well, which is pretty cool that they thought of that. Now in use, I gotta say the ergonomics is what truly shines. I would find myself grabbing this because I know it would feel really, really secure, really, really good in the hand, where you have this guard right here kind of in the handle, and you have the handle kind of hybridating with the blade in a very generous finger choil. You see kind of that bump there, it will prevent your finger from going any further in the blade, so you feel pretty secure, pretty confident in this blade. And with the compression lock and with a good construction, everything like that, you can really depend on this for pretty much anything you're about to do, especially if you're just going to be doing regular EDC chores, stuff around the house, cardboard, wrapper, stuff like that. It's going to be really, really good for that. Camping, especially with the ergonomics. Really good for carting into wood, stuff like that. And like I said, I've accidentally hit wood, and the blade was fine because of the strength of not only the lock, but also with the blade geometry, blade shape. Very versatile. I was able to cut through thick cardboards, cut through and slice pretty efficiently, pretty quickly, thick plastics, things like that, even metal straps. And it held up perfectly. So I highly recommend this knife, the Shaman in general. Last thing I want to mention is the price point. It can be a turnoff for you. I think Spyderco kept raising their prices like crazy. They were originally, I believe, they were $160 at one point, and now they're up to like $230 or $220. Very, very, pretty big bump. It is a full USA made knife. Now, if you are going to get the Shaman and you're going to pull a trigger on it, just get one of the exclusives. Like the Blade HQ exclusive is still available. Try to get an exclusive. I know they're pretty hard to find. Try to get a variation one, so you just kind of have a little more peace of mind that you have a special one, and that you have a little more exotic steel, handle material, etc. I think you'd just be a little more happy with it. I mean, not discounting the quality of S30V and the Black G10, stuff like that. I'm just saying, I think you'd be more happy with an exclusive, sprint run, things of that nature. That's pretty much about it, guys. I just want to mention how great of a knife this is, and highly recommend you guys getting it. It really stacks up well against your other Spydercos, other EDC options. It's probably going to shine really well in your EDC rotation, and you probably will find yourself picking up this knife a lot, flipping it a lot, using it a lot, putting it in your pocket a lot. All right, that's pretty much it, guys. Have a blessed day. Take care, guys.